So this is called 34 Love Letters after Jean Ann Verlee. Dear Kane, sometimes I can't remember if I loved you or if I was just bored. I try not to think about it. Dear Chad, when I'm having a bad day, I wear the underwear I stole from your apartment. Dear Danny, you are a free plane ticket to every city I will never visit. If I ever join the Mile High Club, it will be because of you. Dear Adam, we were a pair of swing set existentialists. I'd rattle off a quote or a quip, and you'd guess who said it. Sartre, Camus, or Wilde, it was usually Wilde. Dear Matthew, give my regards to your girlfriend I would kill for her jawline. Dear Jake, you remind me that I become the type of man that I fear most more often than I actually run into him. Dear Taylor, when I look at you, I see two things, a revolving door and a receding hairline. Dear David, I only unfriended you on Facebook because I was doing my best to pretend that people as pretty as you just don't exist. Dear Isabel, no, still so gay. Dear Corey, I want you to ride me like your 10-speed and fuck me like a French press. Think about it. Dear Kane, I try not to think about it. I got the wedding invitation. Dear Alan, you have a way of pawing at my most painful memories, skating along the surface of my skin with your forefinger, impersonating every lover I've had that came before you. Dear Wesley, I think we could have been happy. I think we could have been really awesome. Dear Nick, it is so hard referring to something that you love in the past tense. Dear Jesse, congratulations, you're in this poem too. Dear Brett, use 14 confessions. Dear Brett, I'm sorry you're the villain in all my fairy tales. I'm sorry I cried when it was over. Thank you for the tea. Dear Dan, I did you because of your beard. Dear Jack, you were worth all of the blue balls. Dear Christian, I doubt that there's a rule book for this sort of thing, but I don't think you're allowed to bring your new boyfriend to the parties I throw at my dad's house and have sex in his bed. That was only okay when we did it. And even then, kinda gross. Dear Jeremiah, no. Dear Zachariah, you are an empty red Solo cup that I keep trying to drink from, somehow still surprised by the nothing I find there. Dear Eric, actually no, that hasn't ever happened to me before. Dear Ryan Stud 07, I am 6'1", versatile, average, and Jewish. Dear Carl and Greg, if you want me to be each other's anniversary present again next year, all you have to do is let me know. Dear Jonathan, I'm sorry I called you a hobbit. I promise it had less to do with your height and more to do with the distribution of your body hair. Dear Parker, I understand the convention of putting a movie on as a pretense to boning, but at what point am I supposed to make a move after you start playing the boy in the striped pajamas? Dear Colton, harder. Dear Garrett, I still have parts of you under my fingernails. Your tongue found nerves in my body I didn't know existed. It was a pleasure pretending not to notice each other at Starbucks this morning. Dear Kane, I got the wedding invitation. RSVP, yes. Dear John, I'm afraid that I was your biggest mistake. Dear Marcus, you are a thief and a coward. A reminder that most men don't know how to love without bruising. Dear Andrew, you always wanted me to write you a poem. I'm afraid if I do now, it will sound too much like the suicide note you didn't leave. Dear Kane, RSVP, yes. I guess I'll eat the chicken. No +1. It's kind of a long story.